Hey ladies, this is Mocha Mommy here bringing you another video. And in this video, as much as I would love to bring you some really great updates in the world and the culture around sports that's been happening in these past 2 weeks just since fall really kicked off, I really felt that it was an obligation to bring you a video about how you can level up in your career right now. With all of the important business publications such as Forbes, Bloomberg, Business Insider, it's been well known that September is the second most popular month for hiring, second behind the month of January. It's because the fiscal year usually goes from the 1st of October to the 30th of September. So a lot of companies are very well aware of what their financial picture is going to look like for these next upcoming 12 months. Also, it lets companies know where they stand and if they've been losing money and productivity hours based on things like the Great Resignation and things like the quiet quit that have been happening nationwide. So a lot of companies are realizing that they're losing revenue as a result of short staffing. So a lot of companies around have been vamping up their efforts to hire. I can say this as a clinical preceptor, not just for my facility, but for our hospital system. I can say that Dr. Michael, who I had mentioned in my video, Emotional Intelligence, and in my video, Mocha Mommy's New Job, he was very prepared. He made a point to advocate for a lot of our summer interns, residents, and those who are on externships doing clinicals at our facility and our neighboring facilities to advocate for them as far as hiring, as far as salaries and retention bonuses. He really made it a point to go through the hassle of communicating with HR to work with these students to make sure that they were getting things like tuition reimbursement, in exchange for their service. He went through that paperwork. He also had signed off on a lot of provisional licenses, and his preparedness really set our facility up. But as I'm looking through at our other neighboring and sister facilities system-wide, we're really not prepared as far as hiring. They're really going to be looking to adopt a lot of those practices that Dr. Michael did by pushing forward with tuition assistance and tuition reimbursement programs for student healthcare workers so that we can secure them to hire in the future, because we really are facing critical shortages. We also are looking at our fiscal budget and seeing if it's going to be possible for us to retain current employees and give them bonuses, or possibly even offer retention bonuses or recruitment for other allied health and nursing professionals. So it's a really good time to get your resume out. And ladies, it's also a really good time to look to see if your current employer has any opportunities for you. I know with the recent retirement of some of our leadership, I was able to take on some of their responsibilities at an increased rate, right? Like I may have not wanted the whole job as the department head, but I took on a few of those responsibilities and was able to negotiate a higher salary for myself. So by taking on a few extra responsibilities, seeing how your company is financially, and also looking into opportunities to advance, whether it be educationally or professionally, and how much of it your company is willing to offer, this is really now the time to ask and to look into those things. Number one, be really careful who you talk to, and be careful how you do it on the company's dime. Make sure that you're kind of in a secluded area, or maybe not printing things up on the company printer or using the company's network to research opportunities that are at your facility or at your place of employment. You want to move in silence and be strategic. Ladies, don't hesitate to apply just because you don't have the education and training and skills right now. If you want to make a transition into healthcare, IT, business, finance, skilled trades, they're still very much looking for people to take on auxiliary and administrative roles. All of these companies are still going to need human resources professionals, people who have administrative and clerical experience, people who have customer service experience to be the face of their companies or their corporations. So don't hesitate to market the skills you have in order to move into the industry that you want. Those jobs are still very much in demand, and it could be a vehicle for you to get the career that you want. You know, this was a couple years back, but I remember there was a young single mother who went to our church. She was taking some classes at like a local community college or trade school to just up and increase her computing skills and her clerical skills. And she was talking about how much the guys on that same campus who were in the skilled trades were making so much more money. And I had told her, I said, why not apply? There was a heavy machinery company at that time that was moving to Austin. And I said, maybe she should look into it. She's like, well, I'm studying computing. I'm like, hey, they're going to still need people to provide administrative support. And you know what? I was completely right. She ended up getting multiple interviews for everything from electrical supply companies to plumbing supply logistics to even answering phones for heavy machinery companies. And of course, whenever you go on an interview, there's always one part of the interview where they ask if you have any questions. And I told her the question that you need to ask is, where's a good place to get a cup of coffee around here? Where's a good place to eat lunch? Ladies, this question is so imperative because a lot of times when you're in an interview, you're talking to the leadership, okay? You're sitting in the interview with the leadership, finding out where they eat, where they drink coffee, where they socialize before they go to work or when they have a little bit of time off between shifts is going to be very imperative to helping you accelerate your career into the future. Also, too, it could be an opportunity for you single ladies to get in good with some of the other professionals in your area that are high level. Finding out where that leadership spends their off time or their downtime could be very imperative. She did, in fact, ask, well, where do you eat lunch? And of course, many of the guys who worked for that heavy machinery company had talked about this sandwich place. They served gargantuan sandwiches, and of course, they were obnoxiously large. She went to go get her sandwich, and wouldn't you know, by the time she got her order, it had already been paid for. There was a guy there who had said that she was too pretty to buy her own lunch. He bought her lunch for her, and then they had a quick exchange and conversation. It didn't go further than that, but she often finds herself in these areas because she works in kind of like a warehouse district. She always finds herself getting these skilled tradesmen or their leadership to buy lunch for her all the time. So it just ended up being a really strategic move to find out where the leadership eats and socializes during their downtime. Even if you don't get the job. Students, don't get left out, whether you're a traditional student or a non-traditional student, just taking online or evening classes. Make sure you visit career services. You know, spring internships seem to always be packed and competitive and crowded, but right now is a time to really get those career service professionals to look over your resumes to help you with job interviewing skills. If you need to borrow anything from the professional closet that they have at some of these educational institutions, this is also the time where a lot of recruiters, headhunters, and human resources professionals are reaching out to set up opportunities for job fairs and for recruiting. So make sure that you're taking advantage of all of those career service opportunities that are available to you as a student in the fall, because September is a huge hiring season and you just don't want to wait till the spring when jobs are a lot less plentiful and also the competition is a lot fiercer. Now, it doesn't really matter if you're an aspiring student, a current student, or a non-traditional student. Make an effort to visit that campus. If you're studying online, even if you're only taking a hybrid class, make sure you make it a point to visit on campus, and make sure you make it a point to go to career services. If you're an aspiring student, talk to the career service professionals and find out what it is they know. And a lot of times they have job boards posted so that you can even get an insight into the type of prospects that this educational institution offers you before you even apply. We know that a lot of times applications for the spring tend to go in around January. So this is an opportunity to start gathering information about grants or loans or any kind of educational or continuing education programs that are available to you. Fall is really competitive to get slots, but spring might have a few more opportunities for you, even if you're just taking a couple classes to refresh skills. This is also a call to you ladies who are business owners or aspiring business owners. As people are starting to ramp up for the holiday season, let's start ramping up that inventory of whatever creative or service-oriented product that you have to bring to market. So make sure that you're right in time for the holiday season. It might be giving it away as Christmas gifts to build up your clientele, or participating in a lot of those local holiday markets and street fairs. So this is an opportunity to start building that inventory and building that buzz around whatever product or service that you're offering around the holiday season. So let's start now in September so that we'll poise to launch our businesses or to launch our business ideas and goals into 2023. Now, we've talked about moving up in your old job. We've talked about finding a new job, but it might be an opportunity to get that second job. This is the time of year for that seasonal side hustle. Secure that seasonal side hustle. And you know what? Target's great. Amazon's great. No shade. It's good money. But really, ladies, I would like to challenge you to try to go out and apply for some of the high-end restaurants, hotels, bars, other eateries, liquor stores, retailers. Really try to work with those upper echelon clientele in the service industry. Listen, your 9 to 5 might be great, but your 6 to 10 may be exactly what you need to propel you to the next level. We know that interest rates are rising. That means it's time to eradicate your debt and to bolster up your savings. Also, it's a good idea to just get exposure to those crowds so you can learn the nuances, the etiquette, and then just perfect those social skills that are valuable in that echelon. Also, it might be a good way to know who's hiring, who's doing what, how the wealthy are moving. Sometimes they offer investment advice. They let you know where they're going on vacation and where the trendy travel spots are, so you can also begin to save up. There's also, I found in some of these high-end circles, like a secret underground rental or buyer's market where homes, they talk about it before they hit the market, or these niche specialty rentals that put people in the right neighborhoods around the right people. So ladies, you want to make sure that you're constantly talking to the right people that are in the areas that you want to be in. So don't forget to apply to that seasonal side hustle in those luxury retailers, restaurants, and bars in the service industry. So ladies, let's start cleaning out this algorithm and getting rid of that stuff that doesn't serve us, and really making sure that we're subscribing and listening and using our time on social media to learn some important skills, to bolster that resume, to get that LinkedIn profile looking professional and perfect. Ladies, this is really that time of year for you to be ramping it into the high gear for the next level of your level up, building those social and socioeconomic skills to just move to the next level. So let's leave behind the jokes and the drama from the past and move forward into the last quarter of this year and into the new fiscal year with a renewed sense of purpose, responsibility, and ready to make that cheese. This is Mocha Mommy, and I'll see you in the next video.